Doctor. I'm not asking for miracles, I just want to know, is there anything I can do, besides medication and pain, to help my body fight back, something gentle, natural, something I can brew at home, not in a hospital? That question came from Roger, a 74-year-old man recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, and to be honest, it stayed with me for a long time. I've been a doctor for more than 35 years, I've seen what medicine can do. And what it can't, but there's something many physicians don't talk enough about. Sometimes, healing doesn't start with a prescription, it starts with a teacup. In your kitchen. With your own hands, every single day, more than 49,000 people around the world hear the words, "You have cancer." In the US alone, over 1.9 million people were diagnosed in 2023, that's one person every 30 seconds, source, American Cancer Society, 2023 Annual Report, while surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation remain vital tools. There's another truth we must face: cancer doesn't just attack your cells, it slowly steals your peace of mind, and for those of us over 60, the battle can feel even harder: a weakened immune system, slower recovery, heightened side effects, and often more fear than anyone wants to admit. Let me be clear, no herbal tea cures cancer, but some may gently support your body's own fight. Recent research has begun confirming what many cultures have believed for generations. Some teas contain compounds that trigger apoptosis, the natural death of abnormal cells. Others may reduce chronic inflammation, a silent driver of many cancers. Some enhance liver detoxification, and a few boost NK cell activity, the immune system's natural killers. And here's the surprising part: these aren't just old folk remedies anymore. They're now being studied in peer-reviewed medical journals from institutions like Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and Tokyo University. In just the past 3 years, a 2023 study, Cancer Cell International, found that matcha tea disrupted the metabolism of breast cancer cells. A 2024 study, BMC Complementary Medicine, showed that ginger extract suppressed the spread of ovarian cancer cells. A 2025 study, Journal of Integrative Oncology, reported that dandelion root triggered apoptosis in colon cancer cells, without harming healthy cells. A 2023 mouse study, Journal of Medicinal Food, revealed that reishi mushroom tea enhanced NK cell function and slowed lung tumor growth. A systematic review in 2023, Integrative Cancer Therapies, found that chamomile reduced inflammation and improved treatment tolerance in cancer patients. But here's the problem: even with this growing body of evidence, most people have never heard of these teas, don't know how to prepare them safely, and worst of all, they believe it's too late to try anything new. That's why I made this video, not to sell you false hope, not to suggest that tea replaces medicine, but to walk beside you, as a doctor who still believes in the healing power of both science and nature. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the top 5 herbal teas most backed by science for supporting your body's defense against cancer, the key compounds inside each, and how they work. Real stories of seniors who turned to tea for gentle healing, who should and shouldn't use each tea. Safety always comes first. The right way to prepare them, and the common mistakes most people don't realize they're making. My goal isn't to replace your doctor, my goal is to bring back your sense of choice, because cancer can change your body, but it doesn't have to take away your power, and sometimes, a simple cup of tea, made slowly, with intention, can be the first step toward getting that power back. Now take a deep breath, settle in, and let me share what I've learned after 35 years in medicine. And hundreds of conversations with people just like you. Let's begin with ginger tea. Ginger tea, strong, warm, and gentle. I still remember that quiet autumn morning. Linda, 68 years old, walked into my clinic with her husband, but she wasn't the patient. "Doctor," she said gently, "he's getting weaker. He's lost his appetite. The chemo makes him nauseous all day, but I don't want him to just survive, I want him to feel like himself again." Then she reached into her handbag and pulled out a small brown cloth pouch. Inside were a few thin slices of dried ginger, carefully wrapped. "My niece sent these from Vietnam. They drink this whenever they have stomach trouble. Do you think it could help?" I looked at her, then turned to him. He smiled weakly and joked, "As long as it doesn't taste like hospital medicine, I'll give it a try." Ginger, an ancient spice, a silent warrior. Ginger isn't new to us. We've used it to flavor soup, warm up tea, or ease an upset stomach. But few people know that ginger, beneath its spicy warmth, holds a powerful compound called gingerol. Gingerol is a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. More importantly, modern research has found that it acts like a cellular shield, especially in the environment of cancer. A 2024 study published in BMC Complementary Medicine and Therapies found ginger extract could inhibit the spread of ovarian cancer cells by blocking key molecular pathways involved in metastasis. Now let's be clear, ginger doesn't kill cancer, but it may slow its advance, like holding the edge of a storm long enough to give your body time to regroup. If you've ever undergone chemotherapy, or walked beside someone who has, you'll understand this. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't the disease, it's the nausea, the exhaustion, the loss of appetite, the sleepless nights, and that's where ginger becomes something quiet, but life-giving. At Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, researchers found that even small doses of ginger significantly reduced chemotherapy-induced nausea, without the side effects often seen with pharmaceutical antiemetics. Linda started preparing ginger tea for her husband every morning. 3 thin slices of fresh ginger, boiled in water for 10 minutes, a few drops of lemon juice. He didn't just tolerate it. He finished it, then he started eating again. "I haven't seen him smile like that since the day we got the diagnosis," Linda whispered, eyes brimming. Scientists have found that gingerol and shogal, another compound in ginger, suppress genes that promote tumor growth, protect DNA from oxidative damage, reduce chronic inflammation, a key trigger in cancer development. Ginger also supports digestion, improves blood circulation, eases mild pain, lowers systemic oxidative stress, all of which indirectly support your body's healing process, especially for seniors whose systems are under the strain of both cancer and its treatment. You should be cautious with ginger tea. While ginger is safe for most people, you should be mindful if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin. Check with your doctor. You have severe gastric ulcers, make your tea milder. You tend to overheat easily or suffer from acid reflux. Keep intake under 3 cups per day. How to prepare ginger tea without losing its benefits? Option 1. Fresh ginger tea. Slice 3 pieces of fresh ginger, boil with 200 milliliters water for 10 minutes, add a bit of lemon juice or honey, if not diabetic. Option 2. Ginger powder. For busy days, 1/2 teaspoon of high-quality ginger powder, mix with hot water, stir well and sip warm. Tip: don't drink it on an empty stomach. Best taken between meals to protect the stomach lining. You see, that little root we use to flavor our food can also be a quiet ally during one of life's hardest seasons. Ginger doesn't replace your doctor, it doesn't replace your medications, but it might ease the nausea, help you enjoy a small bowl of soup again, bring back a little smile in a moment when everything else feels too much. And sometimes, it's those small wins that help us not give up. We're just getting started. In the next part of this journey, I'll introduce you to an ancient remedy known as the mushroom of immortality. Modern science has shown it can boost the immune system's natural cancer-fighting cells. Don't miss what's next. Reishi mushroom tea, an ancient remedy, backed by modern science. Reishi mushroom tea, an ancient remedy, proven by modern science. I don't need to live forever, doctor, I just want to live without fear. That's what Margaret, 72, told me during her follow-up visit after completing early-stage lung cancer treatment. Every time I cough, I panic. What if it's coming back? I can't sleep. I just lie there, worried, is there something that can help me feel calm again, without sleeping pills? I looked at her, a woman with snow-white hair, but a fire of strength still flickering in her eyes. I asked gently, have you ever tried reishi mushroom tea? In ancient Eastern medicine, reishi, also known as Ganoderma lucidum, was cherished for centuries. In China, it was called lingzhi, the sacred mushroom; in Japan, manantake, the 10,000-year mushroom; in the West, we now call it the mushroom of immortality. But the real wonder isn't in the name, it's in what modern science has uncovered about how this humble fungus interacts with the human body. Reishi contains several powerful compounds, including beta-glucans, immune-activating polysaccharides, triterpenoids, natural agents that reduce inflammation, prevent oxidative damage, and block tumor blood vessels, ganideric acids. Special triterpenes shown to inhibit tumor growth. These compounds boost NK cell activity, natural killer cells. The body's frontline defenders against abnormal or cancerous cells. Modulate cytokines, calming harmful inflammation while preserving immune strength, improve sleep quality, reduce fatigue, and support emotional balance, all crucial after chemotherapy. In 2023, a study published in Journal of Medicinal Food found that mice with lung cancer showed slowed tumor growth and enhanced immune function when given reishi extract. A 2022 study from Kyoto University revealed ganideric acid significantly reduced new blood vessel formation around tumors, potentially limiting cancer spread. Most notably, a 2023 meta-analysis published in Integrative Cancer Therapies looked at 5 clinical trials. It found that when reishi was used alongside conventional treatments, patients experienced less fatigue, improved appetite, better sleep, and notably, a higher overall quality of life. After our conversation, Margaret started drinking reishi tea each night before bed. She called it her cup of peace. I still don't know what the future holds, doctor, she told me, but I sleep more deeply. I don't wake up panicking. And in the mornings, I don't feel drained like I used to. Margaret didn't stop her medical treatments, she didn't replace her medicine with mushrooms. But she reclaimed something cancer once took away, a sense of agency, and the belief that her body still had strength left to fight. How to brew reishi tea without losing its strength. Option 1, dried reishi slices. Use 1.5 to 2 grams of dried reishi from a trusted source. Simmer with 250 to 300 milliliters of water for 30 to 45 minutes. Drink once a day, ideally in the morning or 30 minutes before bed. Option 2, reishi tea bags, convenient and easy to prepare like standard herbal tea. Make sure it's from a brand with certified quality control. Who should be cautious with reishi? While generally safe, reishi is not for everyone. If you're on immunosuppressant drugs, check with your doctor. If you have low blood pressure, low platelet count, or are preparing for surgery, reishi may affect blood clotting. Avoid high doses. 1 cup a day is enough for your body to adapt. Reishi isn't magic, it won't dissolve tumors. It doesn't replace medicine, but like a quiet companion, it strengthens your immune response, reduces exhaustion, supports restful sleep, and gives patients back something far more valuable, a feeling that they are no longer just waiting to feel worse, but actively doing something to feel stronger again. And you know what? Sometimes, believing that we still have some control, that alone is what separates enduring from healing. In the next part of our journey, I'll introduce you to a surprisingly powerful tea made from a humble fruit leaf, one that's being studied for its ability to trigger cancer cell death, without harming the healthy cells around it. Stay with me, because maybe, just maybe, one simple cup of tea could be the turning point in your healing journey. Soursop leaf tea, a humble leaf, a powerful hope. You know, doctor, back when my daughter was little and had a fever, I used to pick a few soursop leaves from the garden and bathe her in that water. Now I'm the one with cancer, and she's the one telling me to drink that same leaf as tea, every day. I don't know if it helps. But at least I still feel connected, to the earth, to something real. Not artificial. That's what Thomas, 70, told me. He was once a soldier, later a mechanic, now retired and living alone in a quiet suburb of Texas. He'd been diagnosed with stage 2 colon cancer. After surgery, he refused chemotherapy, said he was too exhausted, but his daughter, a nurse, didn't give up. She messaged me, "Doctor, if my dad will only take something that tastes natural, do you think soursop leaf tea is okay?" Soursop, also known as graviola or Annona muricata, is native to tropical regions like Vietnam, Brazil, and the Philippines. Traditionally, its leaves have been used to reduce fevers, cool the body, support restful sleep, lower blood pressure, but recently, scientists have turned their attention to something far more fascinating within those leaves, a group of compounds known as acetogenins. Acetogenins are natural compounds found in soursop leaves. Here's what researchers have discovered. They inhibit ATP production in the mitochondria of cancer cells. This leads to apoptosis, a process where abnormal cells are triggered to self-destruct. Most remarkably, they are selective, targeting cancer cells only, while sparing healthy ones. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Natural Products showed soursop leaf acetogenins triggered apoptosis in melanoma cells, a notoriously aggressive form of skin cancer. Earlier lab studies between 2019 and 2023 also observed similar effects on cancer cells from breast, prostate, pancreas, colon. Now, to be clear, these were lab and animal studies. We still need large-scale human trials. But as a supportive therapy, not a replacement for treatment, the early data is incredibly promising. How to brew soursop leaf tea, gently and safely. The most common method: use 2 to 3 clean soursop leaves, dried or fresh, from a trusted source. Simmer in 300 milliliters of water for 15 minutes. Drink warm or cool. It has a slightly earthy, bitter taste with a calming herbal aroma. Only 1 cup per day. Do not exceed 30 consecutive days. Take a 1 to 2 week break, then resume if needed. Avoid if you have low blood pressure, are taking Parkinson's medications, are pregnant or breastfeeding. At first, Thomas drank the tea just to please his daughter. But 2 weeks in, he called me. "I wouldn't say I'm cured, but I don't feel worse, and guess what, I've been eating porridge again." He had started every morning by picking the leaves himself, boiling the water, and sipping the tea on his front porch, beneath the Texas sun, not to fight the disease, but to refuse surrender. While chemotherapy targets cancer cells like a battering ram, soursop tea feels more like a quiet guard. It doesn't attack, it protects. It protects your liver from overload. It soothes your body from fatigue. It gives your mind something gentle to believe in, and sometimes, that belief is medicine too. Who should be careful with soursop leaf tea? Don't combine with blood pressure medications without your doctor's approval. Never use it to replace medical treatment for cancer. Monitor your body during the first week. Stop immediately if you experience dizziness, severe fatigue, or digestive upset. Dear friend, I'm not here to tell you to walk away from medical care. I'm simply here to remind you, sometimes, the smallest rituals are what give us back our strength. A single leaf, a cup of tea, a quiet morning in the sun, and a body, though wounded, still choosing to fight with grace. In the next part of our journey, I'll introduce you to chamomile tea, a gentle classic known for sleep, but now also being studied for apigenin, a natural flavonoid that may protect your cells and reduce complications during cancer treatments. Stay with me, because maybe what you've been searching for isn't in a bottle, but in a quiet cup of tea on a peaceful afternoon. Chamomile tea. When gentleness becomes power, I don't need a tea that helps me fight, I need a tea that helps me stop being afraid. That's what Elaine, 66, told me during her first week of radiation therapy for breast cancer. A strong woman, former elementary school teacher of 30 years, and yet, there she was, sitting across from me, anxious, sleep-deprived, and feeling completely out of control. I'm okay during the day. But at night, I keep imagining the worst. I can't sleep. I can't breathe, it's like everything's falling apart. I didn't prescribe sleeping pills right away. Instead, I asked gently, Elaine, have you ever tried a cup of chamomile tea? Chamomile tea has been used for centuries in both Europe and the Americas to calm the nerves, ease anxiety, promote restful sleep, soothe digestion and bloating. But what many people don't realize is this: inside this gentle tea lies a natural compound that's quietly making waves in cancer support research. That compound is apigenin. Apigenin is a natural flavonoid found in Roman chamomile. What scientists have discovered is truly remarkable. It can trigger apoptosis, the self-destruction of abnormal cells. It has strong anti-inflammatory effects, helping ease side effects from chemo or radiation. It protects DNA from oxidative damage, one of the root causes of cancer, and most importantly, it does not harm healthy cells. A 2023 meta-review of 18 studies published in Integrative Cancer Therapies concluded chamomile can reduce inflammation, anxiety, nausea, and significantly improve quality of life in cancer patients, especially those undergoing active treatment. Additional preclinical studies also show that apigenin may slow the growth of breast cancer cells, inhibit metastasis in prostate cancer, support liver function during chemotherapy. Elaine followed a simple routine: 1 teaspoon of dried chamomile flowers, steeped in hot water, around 195 degrees Fahrenheit, 90 degrees Celsius, for 5 to 7 minutes. No sugar. Just a touch of honey or a thin slice of apple. She told me the first night, it didn't help much, but by night 3, she slept 3 hours straight. By the end of the week, she said, for the first time in months, I dreamed. It was soft. I was just walking through a garden. We often think that to fight cancer, we need powerful weapons, but sometimes the body needs the opposite: peace. Chamomile doesn't kill tumors. Instead, it helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone, calm the mind and emotions, restore sleep, which is critical to healing, reduce the emotional side effects of treatment, because a cancer patient who sleeps better, worries less, and feels less exhausted, heals differently. How to brew chamomile tea the right way: 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried chamomile, or 1 tea bag, hot water, around 195 degrees Fahrenheit / 90 to 95 degrees Celsius, steep for 5 to 10 minutes with the lid on, drink 30 minutes before bed. White heavy checkmark optional. Add a slice of apple or a cinnamon stick for a gentle aroma. Crossmark avoid adding sugar. A few small precautions. If you're taking blood thinners, talk to your doctor first. Avoid if you're allergic to flowers in the daisy family, like ragweed. Dear friend, cancer treatment is a brutal journey, not just with medicine, radiation, or surgery, but with the quiet, hidden battles, those long, lonely nights full of fear, and sometimes, a single warm cup of tea before bed is how we gently remind ourselves, I'm still here, I'm still caring for this body, in the gentlest way I know how. Dandelion tea, from weed to a quiet healing companion. You know, document my daughter calls it a weed, but to me, it was the first plant I saw growing back after the storm. It's not pretty, but it survives. Strong. Silent. That's what James, age 76, shared with me during his second-stage colon cancer treatment. In much of the Western world, dandelions are seen as nothing more than weeds. People do everything they can to dig them out of their lawns. And yet, the root that gets buried deep in the ground, the part nobody wants, holds a pharmacy of natural compounds that modern science is beginning to look at with new eyes. Especially for those battling cancer, liver fatigue, and chronic inflammation. I never believed much in plants or herbs, but the way dandelions push up through cracks in concrete, it made me think, maybe I can come back too. The root of the dandelion contains terexasterol, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties; inulin, a prebiotic fiber that nourishes gut health and strengthens immunity; luteolin, a flavonoid shown to help block cancer cell replication. A 2024 study published in Journal of Functional Foods revealed extracts from dandelion root can inhibit the growth of colon cancer cells and activate apoptosis, self-destruction of damaged cells, all without harming surrounding healthy tissue. Earlier, researchers at the University of Windsor in Canada stirred interest when their lab trials found dandelion root extract reduced the survival of leukemia cells within 48 hours in a petri dish. After I recommended it, Mr. James began drinking dandelion root tea every morning, not because I believe it cures cancer, he said, but because I like the feeling of making something for myself. Every morning, he used his late wife's old clay kettle, brewing it slowly over a small charcoal stove. It's bitter, but it's honest, no fake sweetness. No disguise, just like me, old, but not hiding anything anymore. And here's the part that touched me: after 3 months, his liver enzymes improved. His main doctor decided no additional liver meds were needed. How to brew dandelion root tea for maximum benefit. Method 1, using roasted dried roots. 1 to 2 teaspoons of lightly roasted dried dandelion root. Boil with about 10 ounces, 300 milliliters, of water for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain and drink once daily, morning or midday. Method 2, using tea bags. Brew like normal tea, but steep for at least 7 minutes, no sugar. But feel free to add a slice of lemon peel or a bit of cinnamon. Notes: flavor is slightly bitter, aroma is herbal coffee-like, not recommended for people with bile duct blockage, acute gallstones, or those taking bile-stimulating meds. If you're on diuretics or liver medication, consult your doctor first. Dandelion isn't as pretty as a rose, it doesn't smell as lovely as chamomile, it's not as famous as ginger or matcha, but it's resilient, honest, and kind to the body. It helps lighten the liver's toxic burden, it supports better absorption through the gut, and most of all, it restores a sense of intention in the patient's life. One morning at a time. Sometimes, healing isn't in the prescription. It's in the little things: a kettle you warm up yourself, a simple morning tea, a quiet reminder that says, I can still care for myself. You don't have to believe in miracles, but you absolutely can believe in the quiet, patient power of nature, and the strength that lives inside the forgotten things. In the final section, I'll help you reflect on everything we've discovered together, not to pick the best cancer-fighting tea, but to help you choose a softer way of living, a more present way of healing, and a more loving way of caring for yourself, even in the midst of treatment. Stay with me till the end, because often, the greatest gifts of healing reveal themselves in the very last chapter. Doctor, I drink tea every day, not because I think it'll cure my cancer, but because it reminds me I'm still alive, I still have a choice. That's what Mr. Thomas said, sitting alone on his porch with a pot of soursop tea by his side, and in that quiet moment, I couldn't speak for a long time. Cancer doesn't just steal health, it erodes hope. Over the years, I've seen many patients who fear the side effects of treatment more than the disease itself. They fear the nausea more than the chemo, they fear the silence after lab results more than the word cancer. But the most heartbreaking thing is when they start believing they can no longer do anything for themselves, and this is where the small things begin to matter. A cup of ginger tea that helps a husband finally eat again after treatment, a pot of reishi tea that lets a retired teacher fall asleep after endless sleepless nights, a soursop leaf that brings back childhood memories, a dried chamomile bloom that soothes a sore, anxious throat, a dandelion root, once pulled and discarded, now kept as a quiet symbol of resilience. They're not miracle cures, they won't replace your doctor, but they are choices. They are gentle anchors of hope. They're the way you quietly whisper to your body, I'm still here with you. I haven't given up on you. You might be surprised to know, from 2022 to 2025, medical journals across the globe have studied ginger, reishi, soursop, chamomile, and dandelion, from triggering apoptosis, inhibiting cancer metastasis, boosting natural killer, NK, cells, to reducing anxiety and improving sleep, not as replacements for treatment, but as supportive tools that help your body recover more gently, more mindfully, because when modern medicine joins hands with ancient wisdom, we no longer have to choose either, or. We can live with balance, and with more humanity. Dear friend, if you've stayed with me until this final part, I believe you're not just looking for a tea to drink, you're looking to take back some part of your power, on this journey that can often feel so out of your control. I can't promise you'll be healed, but I can promise you this: every time you choose something kind for your body, a nourishing meal, a full night's sleep, a warm cup of tea, you are reclaiming a bit of strength that cancer tried to steal. And when you repeat that choice, day after day, hope returns, your body responds, and life, even if fragile, can bloom again. If this video touched something in you, please share in the comments. What was the first healing tea you ever drank? Click like if you believe that health doesn't come from pills alone, but also from love, warmth, and understanding, and subscribe to this channel, so I can keep walking with you on this journey, as both a doctor and a friend, with knowledge, care, and deep respect. Thank you for being here. Thank you for still choosing to care for yourself, in the gentlest way you can. I'll see you in the next video, where science, stories, and nature's quiet strength will continue to nurture the hope inside you, one day at a time.